Coming off of the first movie, the question is, what happens when the leader of your moral center, what happens when that's gone? How does Superman's death impact his world?
The beginning of the reign of the Supermen, I think, is straight to kind of introduction of these replacements.
These four Supermen, what do they each represent?
You really saw Lois take control of the story.
What if one of them really is Clark, reborn?
Are any of them the real Superman or a trace of the real Superman?
Superman represents hope. And at the end of Death of Superman, that hope is lost. The question of where we go from there is what we're trying to explore with this story.
We learn from Superman Doomsday, deliver the full novel. We're going to cover the complete story as a two-parter.
We were able to take the book and amplify it, kick up the stakes a little bit. So the threat, it's more threatening than ever.
The four Supermen, they each have their own agenda, some good, some bad.
Superboy is, let's say, it's Superman if he'd been raised by the Kardashians.
John Henry Irons represents the humanity and heart that Superman brings to the show. The Eradicator represents the quarter of Superman that is the last son of Krypton. Cyborg Superman is really the power of Superman.
He's just a little devoid of emotion.
Death of Superman is about how we destroy our heroes, and Reign of the Supermen is about how we make them. They both have a lot to say about us. When Superman is gone, is the hope gone? I think that we find it.
We may not be able to bring the beat down, but we sure as hell can make some noise. Am I right?
Hello everybody out there in YouTube land, and welcome to DC Fans United. So we just checked out the sneak peek trailer. I thought it was pretty interesting. It didn't actually show a lot of footage, but they did talk about it quite a bit and explain a lot, and I thought it was pretty interesting to hear from the creators, so that was cool. It was a pretty unconventional trailer, and I imagine we'll get a regular trailer sometime here in the future. So one thing is, I liked the movie that this is a sequel to, Death of Superman. I thought they actually did a pretty good job of it, and they actually addressed something in this trailer where they talk about Superman Doomsday not being a perfect movie and it being incomplete. So I think that's a good sign that they addressed that, because that is part of why they decided to break this up into two movies. So I was also kind of impressed how the writer was talking about how Superman represents hope, and that when the death of Superman occurred, it was like everyone's hope had died. So this movie is essentially going to be about how people adapt to life without Superman. So that's always an interesting dynamic, and it looks like Lois Lane is going to be playing a very big role, and they talk about that in the trailer. So I thought that was cool. I actually like a lot of the Superman characters that are kind of on the sidelines a lot of the time. So it's always nice to see Jimmy or Lois or even Perry play a bigger role. So we didn't see a ton of animation from this yet, but what I did see looked pretty solid. It looked like the standard DC animated movie. The Death of Superman movie that came out before this was really good. I thought it was one of the better animated movies, so if they keep up that same quality, it should be alright. So another thing that looked pretty cool too, it looks like they stick pretty close to the source material. I definitely saw the four Supermen. You've got the Eradicator, you've got Steel. I like that they pretty much kept the look of everybody and everything, so I think it's going to be pretty good. One thing that's going to be really interesting to see is how far far Cyborg Superman goes and what all he does. So I think it looks like pretty good signs. It was really a teaser trailer, so there wasn't a whole lot there, but I liked what I saw. It was a little boring though. I watched it like 5 or 6 times, and it wasn't the most exciting trailer in the world, but it was very informative, so that's always good. And look for my review of the actual trailer when that comes out. Alright, that's all for now. Thanks for watching, and as always, be sure to subscribe if you aren't subscribed. Hit the bell for notifications, and as always, thank you for watching and being a part of DC Fans United.
End of line.